Many women do not like their partner watching porn. And why is that? I'm going to refer to Dr. Marty Klein's latest email update about this topic because he says if you're upset with your partner watching porn, it's not about the porn. And I always disagreed with it, but I always kept reading, and I think I understand finally now why he says it. It's because if the man is not considerate or enthusiastic during sex with us and he's watching porn, then we're going to blame the porn. But the problem really is that he isn't considerate or enthusiastic or present with us. Now, let's assume the partner is considerate and enthusiastic with us during sex and he watches porn. If that's your situation, ladies, do you still feel a little bit of jealousy? If so, Dr. Klein would say that a woman who is comparing herself to the porn actresses or things that her husband is comparing her to porn actresses, that's kind of an adulting thing there because we as a society we compare ourselves to each other, and it's easy to become insecure when we see other people who are more attractive and we imagine that our partner may want them more. This is an existential human task of not comparing ourselves to other people. I can see a situation though where the man is inattentive to the woman in the bedroom and he's watching porn and getting all excited about the porn, and then the woman blames the porn. That's a different situation because then the real problem is why is he inattentive to her? And the porn seems like a competition, but he's checked out of being with her and has turned to the porn because a healthy man is going to prefer sex with a real person rather than masturbating to porn. So if he is masturbating to porn rather than wanting sex with his wife, that's a different problem. But the first situation of like he's really great in bed with you, he's very attentive, he really enjoys you, and he watches porn, then you just have to learn to not compare yourself to other people. Do not compare yourself to other people. We can't compare ourselves to other people around money, our jobs, how smart our Christmas kids are, the quality of our Christmas trees, and all of this. This is an adult existential task. Okay? But now let's deal with the fact that the man doesn't want to have sex with the woman, or he just gives her quickies, or is inattentive, and he seems like a million miles away during sex. And I think this is the major problem that makes women not want sex, because the man is a million miles away, or he's having sex at night, his eyes are closed, he's not connected with her, he's just giving her a quickie, but he's watching the porn, he's very excited about the porn, so she blames the porn. And so they start to quarrel. And she says, I don't want you watching porn. And then he agrees, even though he still wants to watch it, he agrees and eventually gets caught. And now they really have an argument. Or when she says, I don't want you watching porn, he says, well, I'm a grown up. I can do what I want. And then she'll say, oh, so your porn is more important to me or my feelings. And now they quarrel about whether he cares enough about her or whether he has the right to do what he wants. And these quarrels don't resolve anything at all because they're not focused on the real problem. The real problem could be is his libido or her lack of confidence, his lack of emotional presence, her fear of abandonment, his ambivalence about commitment, and so on. Because people will quarrel about porn when the actual truth is, the painful truth is, the relationship is unsatisfying. So instead of resolving their sexual difficulties, some people will masturbate to porn. Instead of facing the fact that they don't desire their partner, they will masturbate to porn. Instead of talking about their anxiety during sex, they will masturbate to porn. Or instead of dealing with their depression, loneliness, social anxiety, shame, feeling like a failure, hating their job, they will masturbate to porn. So when someone says, I don't want you watching porn, they're proposing a solution. But what is the problem they're trying to solve? The real problem is the dissatisfaction. That's what they need to talk about. So it would be better for her to say, I want more sex with you. I want different sex with you. I want you to treat me differently when we're in front of other women, like waitresses, cashiers, and my friends. And he should also articulate his dissatisfaction in the relationship. Because if they can't have a grown-up conversation about their concerns, then porn isn't the problem. The problem is his character, his anxiety, his anger, and his responses to these things, his behavioral choices, are his. If he's late to his kid's birthday party because he's in the bathroom masturbating to porn, that's not a porn problem. If he insists you have sex the way porn actresses do after you've said clearly you don't want to, that isn't a porn problem. Taking away his porn won't fix the problem. Here are some things you could say, ladies. When we have sex, I want you to please slow down and touch me differently, and I want to feel your presence and caring. Wow, that's nice. I'm going to say this again, and I'm reading from Dr. Marty Klein. Ladies can say to their husband, when we have sex, I want you to please slow down and touch me differently, and I want to feel your presence and caring. That can start a conversation, whereas saying, you have to stop watching porn, that generally ends a conversation. It's very controlling. It doesn't come from the heart. It's very bossy. It takes away any opening, like it just closes the door. Dr. Marty Klein goes on to say that he's very sympathetic about women who cannot get their guy's attention sexually. Wow, that really must suck, you know? The problem isn't the way you look, ladies, or the way you kiss, or the fact that you don't like oral sex. Every successful couple has simple ways that partners can get each other's attention without conflict or begging. Whether the subject is about money, health, parenting, chores, or sex, saying, honey, I really need us to talk about this topic this weekend, okay, should be sufficient. If it isn't, the problem isn't the subject that you want to discuss, it's the relationship. It isn't the porn, and getting rid of porn won't fix the relationship. Fixing a relationship is more complicated than that. I really like Dr. Marty Klein. You can Marty Klein, Klein. I hope that this gave you something to think about. And again, I think that when women are unhappy in their sexual lives, it's because their partner isn't really present with them. And I think that men can enjoy that kind of sex, some men, some of the time. But I think most women, most of the time, won't. And I can see, you know, there's been a situation also where, you know, the man treats sex as something he can just get off really quick and get out of the way, like doing a chore or something, or going to the bathroom. And he doesn't get very excited about it, but he gets very excited about reading his books or doing his workout or going out and doing his gardening or working in a shop. He's so excited. He's going out to meet his friends, or he's going to go play basketball with the guys, or he's going to do something with the kids. He's so excited. But then when it's time to have sex with the woman, he's not as excited. And those things are painful. Those things are painful. in my case, I didn't have a husband who watched porn, but I had a husband who was not present with me the way that I wanted. And it was painful. So the problem, was that person's ability to handle conflict and want to deal with conflict and all of that. So there are usually deeper issues at play. It wasn't the basketball or the books or the gardening or the shop that was the problem. I couldn't ever figure out what the problem was in my case because I was with someone who didn't want to look at anything. But if any of you have worked through this and found some insights and like to work on stuff and resolve conflict like this, leave it in the comments so we can all learn from each other and celebrate your success. And thank you for watching my video.